My father,
Was it-
my father he's been messing with technical stuff all weekend. All weekend, you have no idea.
Good evening and welcome to the August 8th meeting of the Commission on the Status of Women. And I would like my fellow commissioners to please adjourn the meeting tonight in honor of Albert F. Miller, the father of Commissioner Denise Miller, who passed away on Saturday, August the 6th, surrounded by his entire family. Big Al, or Al as he was known, will be missed by many friends and family. So if the commission will do that later on. I would also like to welcome tonight Christine Sansoni. She's standing in for Lucy or Pedian from the City Attorney's Office. So welcome, Christine. Next item, please.
Is roll call. Commissioner Burns.
Present.
Commissioner Danielian.
Present.
Commissioner Garsavanian.
Present.
Commissioner Miller.
Present.
Vice Chair Tostian.
Present.
And Chair Devine.
Present. Next item, please.
The agenda for the August 8, 2011 meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside of City Hall on or before August 5, 2011. 2 is introductions and presentations. 2A is announcement of Women's Achievers Business and Healthcare Conference, Business Life Magazine.
Chair Devine, members of the Commission, I would like to invite Greg Krikorian, Vice President of Business Development and Marketing, to give the Commissioners a brief presentation about his magazine and an upcoming event that pertains to women and health. So, thank you. Welcome.
Greg Krikorian is...
Entourage. I brought some committee members with me, too.
Greg is
Thank
also
you.
a member of the Glendale Unified School District School Board.
Yes, Board of Education. Past
Board
president,
of
but
Education.
present member of the Board of Education and proud parent of 5 children in Glendale. And I know we have the first screen on a picture on, that was last year's cover. I know our Chair, Ms. Paula Devine, was on that cover. And on that cover, we feature business women and service women throughout the community, Glendale, Burbank, Pasadena, San Gabriel Valley, San Fernando Valley. But the reason why I want to start with that cover is 20 years ago today, 1990, we had our very first Women Achievers cover. And for the past 20 years, Business Life has been saluting and supporting women achievers and women organizations across our region. And what's evolved from this is all these women, over 400 women through Glendale, Burbank, and Pasadena, have approached us saying, why don't we take it to the next level? Why don't we look at developing programs and services to help small business women owners and entrepreneurs grow even more? And what we've done is we've expanded to a forum and a conference and a workshop, and we're really excited about it. I brought some of our committee members here to talk more about the workshop, but on September 26th, I'm asking all of you to mark your calendars, and to the community members, this is open to everybody. We're having awesome workshops in the morning specifically to help women and obviously males who have businesses on programs and services. Just a couple of the sound bites that we have coming up on that workshop. There's going to be, which we have one of our presenters here today, Derek Chevalier, and I'm going to introduce the people who are with me too. We have also with us Elizabeth Manasarian, who's past commissioner, very active in the community in Rotary and many organizations, but she's past Women Achievers, and also have Zarman Akashians, and Zarman is part of past president of Army Nurses Association, many organizations, Glendale Adventist Hospital, involved in helping women. And there's many other committee members. This year is filled with a slew of women from all three cities helping out with this event. When we get the flyer up, I'll be able to talk more about that too. There's the flyer. It gives a little bit of the information about the date and time. It's the Glendale Hilton Hotel. It's specifically, there'll be chances to find out and purchase tickets online. There's a luncheon incorporated with it. The luncheon tickets are only $50. $50 per ticket, which includes the luncheon and the workshops itself. You have a chance to go to 6 workshops. As I was saying, and I'll go through the workshops one by one. The first workshop is Dynamic of Time Management, and we're going to go into that a little bit later. Leadership and retooling your skills for hiring and finding the right job. Job opportunities and professional development, how to find financing for your businesses, financial opportunities, and the big one is contracting and underwriting. How does small business and women write contracts to get out there in this tough economy? The other thing we're going to talk about is how effects of the new health care laws, what's happening, and obviously health and body and living, and it's a big proponent of it. We're really excited about this, and the buzz is really spreading between all three cities and both valleys, but what's exciting is it's being done here in Glendale. And having it here in our hometown and having all the small businesses here, it's an exciting opportunity to partner with the Glendale Status Commission of Women. We want to partner with you to offer this out to the community, say, come to this event. Come support women. Come support small businessmen too. And this is a great opportunity. Before I go on too long, I'd like to introduce some of our panelists, and he's right behind me. His name is Derek Chevalier. Great friend, great presenter. And if you ever met Derek, and hopefully you will meet Derek when you come on September 26th, Monday morning, to see part of his presentation. Derek, maybe give some sound bites of your presentation you're going to be doing to one of the workshops.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having us. I'm Executive Vice President of Harrison Chevalier, Inc., and we're a business skills and negotiation training and consulting company. And this presentation is going to be essentially on dynamic time management, balancing both work, health, and family. We all have one thing in common, and that's 24 hours in a day. And as the father, a single father of a couple of teenage kids, and someone who was raised by a woman who raised 4 children alone, I know that it's difficult. So we'll be looking at how to maximize our ability to accomplish what we need to accomplish and balance both good health, good work ethics for small business folks, and a lifestyle too, because we got to have some fun out there. So please come out and see us.
Thanks, Derek. And Derek's done many presentations. We did one at Woodbury University last year. It was extremely exciting. A lot that we did in Burbank, and a lot of the Burbank community in Glendale and the San Fernando Valley came out. This time we're holding in Glendale. And this is going to be a great opportunity for the Glendale Chambers. We're going to communicate with the up north with Montrose and La Crescenta Chamber, and all the ethnic organizations will be invited to come. And many of the women on the committee from, I know Adele Lurzaga, Elizabeth Manasarian, Zarminet, Marsha Ramos from the past mayor of Burbank's on our committee. Obviously a couple of you women too, which we appreciate it, and Ms. Linda Burns. But I'd like to give Ms. Elizabeth Manasarian a little chance to talk about the program and our efforts too. Elizabeth?
Great. Thank you, the Commission, for giving us this opportunity to be here today. I'm really excited about this event on September 26th. It's a great event, and I'm really looking forward to hearing Derek, because this is something that I personally had to struggle with, how to balance my life, my work, my volunteer work. And it's a great event for me to be there and listen to what the experts have to say. And I really like to encourage everyone in the city of Glendale, all the women especially, to come out there to learn about the financing, to learn about the job opportunity, the job openings, and most of all, network with great women. And some of you are going to be there, and I'm really looking forward to working with the commission. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And you can see the excitement. I know we've been taught. Lynn Raggio has been extremely excited about this, too. And so has Zarmin Nakashian, working with all the different groups in the healthcare component. And also, I know the Armenian Nurses Association is supporting this, too. And Zarmin, maybe tell our audience and also the Commission some words of support.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I'm looking forward to participating to this event, because this event, as the past president of the Armenian American Nurses Association, I'm bringing a group of the nurses so that we can learn how to market ourselves in this difficult economy. And then also, as an assistant professor at Azusa Pacific University, I'm bringing students also so that they will know that, they can study nursing, they can get their bachelor's in nursing, but like how are they going to be marketing themselves? And then also because like nurses work as consultants, so like how to establish a contract so that they in the business world as they're doing consulting work. So this is going to be a good opportunity for the current nurses and the students to enhance their knowledge, and then they're having opportunity to network also. Thank you again.
Thank you, Zarmin. In last year's celebration, we had over 600 people. We were sold out. The Glendale Hilton was packed. And this is a great opportunity, too, for small business owners in our region, specifically Glendale, we want to help, and in the surrounding areas, obviously, to come out. But we have an offer. For everyone watching this show and small business women trying to get an extra ahead of each other, we're offering free conference workshop time, not the luncheon, but the workshop time. If they email us at women@businesslife.com by September 7th, and they make a reservation saying we'd like to participate in the workshops, they'll get a spot to be able to at least attend some of these helpful workshops. And these workshops, to be able to meet the LA County, we're inviting Metropolitan War Department, major school districts are coming for purchasing and vending opportunities. This is a great opportunity for women in all businesses and businessmen to get a chance to get ahead of life, especially in today's tough times. What's really exciting, though, is we're also going to honor this year's 26 women achievers that we're honoring. And they're going to be recognized at the luncheon, which is going to happen at noon. There's opportunities to sponsor and support. We have some big sponsors, and we have some big keynote speakers. Ms. Beverly White from NBC News is going to be one of the keynote speakers. Also a local leader in the Glendale College, and also head of the part of the AT&T, Anita Gabrelian, is going to be speaking at the event. And we're going to be welcomed by our own very own mayor, Ms. Laura Friedman, is going to be there to send some words of welcome on behalf of the city and herself. But besides that, Seroptimus International, Zonta, NABO, American Businesswomen Association, all the major women organizations are partnering with us. They're going to have exhibits and booths there, how to help each other. And after what happened today with the stock market and what's happening in our economy, we have to stick together more than ever. And if we can't get an event like this off in Glendale to help women, specifically partner with you, then we got to look at what map we're heading on and how can we help each other. This is a great opportunity. I encourage people at home, again, visit the website, businesslife.com. Send us emails. It's very easy to remember. It's women@businesslife.com. And you can also purchase tickets if you want at itsmyseat.com. Luncheon tickets are only $50, and that includes the whole workshop itself. But we're really excited about it. We have a meeting again this week, and we're spreading the news to all the cities. I know Pasadena is going to be supporting this too. Burbank's getting involved, and Monrovia is supporting it too. And we're excited about reaching out to our own city and having Glendale involved with this. And this will be a fun event. Did I miss anything, guys?
No? Good job.
All right. Well, thank you. I don't know if there's any questions or at this time.
Questions from the commissioners?
Questions from the commissioners? Hopefully you guys are all excited to be there.
Well, I do have a comment.
Go ahead.
Chair Devine. I attended last year's event, and I think it was really excellent. It was
Thank you.
Very well attended. Our Chair Devine, obviously, you already mentioned it, received an award, and I was ecstatic and thrilled to be there. And I encourage all of our audience to be there this year. I look forward to being there. And again, my advice is go, enjoy the workshop, learn from the workshop. You know, healthcare is the second largest industry in this area. When I say in this area, I'm talking about Glendale, Burbank, La Cañada, and there are 4 major hospitals in this area also. So I think that's going to be a very excellent workshop for people who want to go in the healthcare industry.
Thank you. We've offered the 4 hospitals to participate and support it, and it looks like they're coming on board. And thank you for your kind words of support. And also the good news, one of your colleagues is going to be featured on the cover this year, Ms. Linda Burns.
Yes, congratulations, Commissioner Burns.
Well deserved. I mean, it's called the. There's a lot of people to our hearts. There's been many women, and as we said, over 400. And Julie Burrows-Shermer was on our cover, and our hearts and thoughts always go out to supporting her too. And there's many women that played a role, as all of you have, and we got to help each other get through these times. God bless you, and really appreciate it. And look forward to seeing you on September 26th. Thank you very much.
I just want to say that as a commissioner, and hopefully I speak for the rest of the commission, that we're proud to be a part of this, and we certainly will spread the word and create as much awareness of this project as we can so that we do get a large turnout to this very exciting conference. So we thank you for putting it on.
Thank you. And I brought extra flyers for everybody.
And we also welcome back Commissioner Manasarian. Always nice to see you here.
Always nice to be back. Thank you.
Yes. Commissioner Donnellian.
Is this open to students too?
That's one thing. Actually, we're doing an added push. We're actually communicating with Glendale Community College, PCC College, and Woodbury University to do a certain number of students get to come complimentary to the workshops.
Okay.
Woodbury is actually one of the sponsors. PCC and GCC community colleges are doing a presentation on development of resumes and yourself. There's actually a leadership workshop too. There's going to be 4 presenters, and actually one of the former city managers of Burbank is going to be involved in it too. So it's a lot of excitement.
Okay.
So just have them email us at women@businesslife.com.
Okay, because I know GCC has like a nursing program, and it's like pretty big there, so it would be good to involve them too.
We have to. My daughter's in the nursing program at GCC,
okay, nice.
so she would get mad at me if I forgot my daughter. So, but thank you. It's important because we do want to offer this to students. As a matter of fact, we're going to expand this even more. Last year we gave a scholarship to a student at Woodbury. This year, if this grows even more, we're looking at doing the community colleges too. And matter of fact, one of the scholarship winners, Jennifer, works at Disney, and she's really excited. She's bringing the family to be recognized, and she'll be sending some words of wisdom. So I hope you're there too. It'll be very exciting. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Cordova, next.
B is Job and Career Assistance, Verdugo Job Center.
And this is Ms. Baboumian.
Chair Devine, members of the commission, this is part of our ongoing monthly themes, and this month we are going to have Judith Cernas, she's the manager of the Verdugo Job Center, come and talk about what kind of job and career assistance services there are open to women and all community members in the city of Glendale and the surrounding region. So thank you, Judith, for coming today.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. I'm Chair Devine, members of the Commission, and staff. My name is Judith Cernas. I'm the Verdugo Job Center Manager. This is actually my second time here in the Commission. I was here in April 2007, so it's my pleasure to talk more about our services and what we can do to really reach out to the community, especially women. I have a brief presentation just to give to you of our services. We are part of the Verdugo Workforce Investment Board. Back in 1983, there was a joint powers agreement from a federal grant that created the Verdugo region, which is Glendale, Burbank, and La Cañada, Flint Ridge. What this did was create a board that enabled us to have employment centers. We have an employment center here in Glendale, Verdugo Job Center, and one in Burbank. So part of the Verdugo Workforce Investment Board is to make sure that we provide leadership in the area of workforce to ensure job opportunities and economic vitality in the Verdugo region. So our main goal really is to help job seekers looking for work, as well as businesses who are looking to find talented individuals to place, and youth. We offer youth programs to ensure that there's work experience in that area. Our board is primarily charged with policy development in the workforce area, so we are very conscious of the labor market, what is happening, what is growing. Most of our board members are 51% business, as well as we have local educational entities from both Burbank and Glendale, labor organizations, and community-based organizations. I'm actually, at the end of the presentation, I'm going to leave a copy of our annual report in the back. It lists our members. I'll make sure Christine passes it out to the rest of the commission. As I mentioned before, we have two offices, employment centers. I manage the Verdugo Job Center on 1255 South Central. We have a satellite office in Burbank as well, which is East Olive Avenue. Most of the time when we have job seekers coming in, we have different levels. Given the economy and the times, we see anywhere from PhD candidates to MBAs to people who do not have high school diplomas. So we try to offer a variety of job seeker needs to accommodate the different demands we have. We have training opportunities, vocational training through specialized grants, and I'll go over our specialized grants. We have free internet access for job search, phones, copies, and fax machines. As you can imagine, with the economy, every penny counts. So people are able to use our services for free and not pay to look for employment. We have different workshops that we market to everybody. Market yourself. How can you be the best job candidate for that position? Stress management, which is quite popular, especially under these financial times. Unemployment insurance. We're lucky to have an on-site partner, Employment Development Department, that they are first-hand knowledgeable on unemployment insurance. So anybody can come to our center to receive that information. Resume writing and interview skills. We find that businesses are still looking for the basics. Someone with excellent communication skills who have a really neat and nice resume. So we make sure that that's our priority to give that service. Social service referrals. We've been doing this a lot more lately in these last couple of years. People coming to us asking, how do I apply for food stamps? How do I apply for cash assistance? Where do I go for housing? So even though we don't offer those services, we have the referral mechanisms and we have different partners that we provide that guidance to. As I mentioned before, we have different on-site partners. The Employment Development Department, which specializes in unemployment insurance, is at our center and is able to provide detailed assistance on unemployment insurance. We have the Housing Department as well as the Department of Rehabilitation that offers services to people with disabilities. And Sir Jobs for Progress is a senior program we have at the center that services the age group 55 and over who need work experience or ability to work during these times. We have a dynamic business services team. We work closely with our local employers here in Glendale as well as Burbank, where we go and outreach to make sure that we're able to meet their job needs. We have ability, and again, these services are free, to office space for their interviews. We post job openings. We have a network of employment centers. And as I mentioned before, we're federally funded, so there are employment centers, free employment centers nationwide. In California alone, there must be over 100 employment centers. So what we try to do is really let the community know to go to these different employment centers, because if we don't have job leads that fit your specific specifications, there might be other job centers that do. We also are able to pre-screen applicants. So once we get a job order, we're able to look at our CalJobs database, which is a state database with resumes where we're able to make the perfect match with the employer. We have labor market information. Our executive director, Don Nakamoto, is a labor market expert in this region, so we provide a lot of information to our customers to show them what area is growing. We have assistance for laid off employees, which we call rapid response, and what that is, if a company unfortunately has to close down its doors, we actually go and speak with the impacted employees. So we speak to them about job search assistance, unemployment insurance, and that enables the employee to have a better transition after they have to leave that company. We also have assistance for employers that may lay off employees but are not quite at that point yet. It's called layoff assistance. We connect employers to the Small Business Administration and different other resources to make sure they continue to be successful. And primarily, we try our best to make sure we market our center so that way they know to find qualified candidates at the Verdugo Job Center. As I mentioned before, we have a dynamic youth program called the Glendale Youth Alliance. It operates 6 different programs right now. We're operating our summer program, which historically has been clearing hillside brush. So for youth ages 14 to 16, that's their first time working, and we want them to expose that type of tough work so they really appreciate what they need to do to get a different type of job. We actually work closely with the Commission on the Rosie Camp. We have Kathy Pumetti as one of our staff members, and I know she is a staff member with the Rosie Camp, and it's a really exciting program that we refer a lot of our youth to. Our youth program also offers case management, leadership, and youth mentoring. As I said before, we have special grants. Currently, we received a Veterans Manufacturing Grant that we're going to be recruiting for. So for a recently separated veteran, meaning they've been released within the last 48 months, if they're interested in machinist training, we're going to be recruiting for that. As well as we have a New Start grant through the Department of Corrections, which enables us to work with parolees and help them get vocational training. We have a grant through the Social Security Department to provide work incentive for people receiving Social Security income or Social Security disability income. We have an employment network for people who are receiving Social Security income and Social Security disability income for people who are in disabilities. And we just completed 2 energy programs, the Verdugo Power Academy and Smart Meter Training. And for these 2 particular energy programs we really tried our best to recruit women, especially working with organizations like Winter that work with women in non-traditional employment roles to make sure that we encourage women to go into the areas of utility energy, smart meters. So we've had a handful of women be successful in completing those programs. These are just some of our statistics, so you can see how busy we are at the Verdugo Job Center. Just for the program year, July 1st, 2010 to June 30th, 2011, we had about 70,000 people come through the center. Out of the 70,000, about 24,000, it was their first time. Out of the special grants we usually enroll 3,000 people, and I saw that we have over 40% are women enrolled in our special grants. So the special grants that we apply for really enable us to offer vocational training for individuals to improve their skill sets. But as you can see, the demand for our work continues to grow. So that's one of the reasons I'm happy to be here, just to promote our services and to make sure people are aware there are free employment services available to those people who are unemployed. I think I got stuck. There we go. This is really tiny print, so I apologize. The Verdugo Web highlights are successes we've had with our programs. Again, they're listed here in this brochure, which I'll make sure you have copies. Just so you can see a little bit of our successes. For the Verdugo Power Academy and Smart Meter, we train people in utility industries and placed 82% of those trainees into jobs in the first 2 classes. So that was a joint partnership we had with Glendale Water and Power and Glendale Community College. And again, with that specific program, we really wanted to recruit women specifically. And again, I apologize for the small font. We did get a grant from and work closely with the California Manufacturing Technology Consultant to save 130 manufacturing jobs. So what that means is we completely outreach to manufacturing companies in Glendale and Burbank to offer them any type of business assistance to prevent layoffs. And we were able to do that through a specialized grants. Again, we're one of the top performing disability projects in the country. We're one of the few employment centers that has a Social Security grant, and we've really outreached to the people with disabilities. So again, we've been recognized nationwide for that. And we work closely with the local hospitals. We provide on-the-job training to individuals who just graduated from nursing. One of the things that we found out is that it's very expensive for a hospital to hire a nurse because they cannot bill their hours. The nurse first has to go through the hospital's training program before they're able to see a patient. So we saw that as a need, and we came in and we offered on-the-job training where we paid for half of the wages and the hospital paid for the other half. So that way they were able to pay for that nurse and bring them on board. This is just a partial list of our VJC partners. As I mentioned before, we worked with women in non-traditional employment roles through our Smart Meter program, Glendale Water and Power, the Department of Corrections, Path to Chief, Burbank and Adult School, Glendale Community College, and of course the Commission of the Status of Women for Rosie Camp. We really want to outreach to as many partners as we can to just increase the number of services we provide. And this is our contact information. We have a website that lists job listings as well as our calendar of events. That's our direct number, and we're open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. I would be happy to answer any questions that you have.
I have a question.
Sure.
Can you tell everyone when your workshops are, like the resume writing? And
Sure. I don't have that, but if you go to our website, we have them every Monday, the resume writing, after orientation at 1:30. So they're usually at 3:30 every Monday. But if you go to the website, which is verdugojobcenter.org, they have a listing of the calendars and the day-to-day workshops we have.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
Any other commissioners have?
May I?
Vice Chair?
Yes, thank you. I know today you had orientation,
Yes.
and I think your next orientation is August the 15th.
Yes.
So I would encourage our audience to go to that orientation on August 15th and to bring with them. Can you tell us what they need
Sure. If it's your first time at the Verdugo Job Center, the only requirement we have is that you register for CalJobs. CalJobs is a state database where you can enter your resume, and it's caljobs.ca.gov. And once you've done registering, what that does, it enables employers to search for your resume if they have a job opening. But if you like to attend orientation, be registered for a program, you do need to bring your Social Security card, a picture ID, which is a driver's license, and if you're a male, born after 1960, proof of selective service. And that's part of our federal guidelines that we have to follow.
Thank you.
Sure.
Commissioner Burns?
How many employees do you have at the Verdugo Job Center?
Well, as I mentioned before, we co-manage the center with our partner Employment Development Department. So between our employees and the Employment Development Departments, we have about 50 staff.
It would appear that this is a model.
Thank you. What we try our best is really everybody at the center is cross-trained on everything, so that way when somebody comes in, we want it to be a seamless process. So you don't know if you're speaking with a state employee, a City of Glendale employee, or a youth employee. We're all familiar with the programs.
I have a follow-up.
Go ahead. Sure.
Thank you. I had mentioned briefly that the second largest sector is in the healthcare industry in our area.
Yes, correct.
I'm not quite sure what the largest sector is, the largest industry sector in our area. Would you be able to tell us that?
Yes. I actually was in here, brings the labor market. Like I said, Don Nakamoto is our labor market expert, our executive director. The largest industry is entertainment. Okay, entertainment. Then we have the medical hospitals. We have manufacturing as well in this region, as well as retail.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions? I just want to know, do you have any statistics? We see 70,000 people coming through your doors. Do you have any idea of what your success rate is?
We do. We actually, because we have a federal grant, we are able to know what our performance measures are. So actually, let me read you a quote here. We have, in the past year, the Verdugo Job Center placed into a job 1 out of every 2 unemployed people that came through the doors.
Wow, so 50%.
Yes, so it's 50%, and the reason is because we have such a strong connection with our job seekers, and we really do aggressive business outreach so people know that they will receive talented job applicants at our center, and that's how we try to make the connection. We actually did the recruitment for the Americana brand. We did the recruitment for there. They completely recruited the VJC, so we were lucky we made that connection.
Great. So it behooves anyone that's watching that needs a job or that knows someone that needs a job, wants a job, to go to 1255 South Central, just this side of Los Feliz.
Exactly.
Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5.
Correct.
Or to call and get information. I know it's a big building. It's not difficult to see. It's a beautiful
Exactly.
building.
And we have plenty of parking, and we're accessible through transportation. We really encourage everybody to come out because, again, we know that the economy is tough and that people need assistance with career advice and direction, and that's what we're happy to help anybody who needs our help.
Thank you so much for what you do, and thank you for coming tonight to
Thank you. My pleasure.
explain it all to us. Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
3 is oral comment. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Time is limited to an amount to be set by the chair. The commission may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or discussion. Staff may refer the matter to the proper department for investigation and report.
I have no cards, so we'll move on to the next item.
4 is consent items. A is approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting held on July 11th, 2011.
Okay, are there any corrections or additions to the minutes?
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
And it's, Commissioner Miller, I think we have a consensus.
Okay, with Vice Chair Tostian
Bastian abstaining,
Thank
correct.
you.
Next item, please.
5 is business agenda. A is action items. A1 is selection of commission officers. A is the motion to select chair for the term of August 2011 to August 2012. B is motion to select vice chair for the term of August 2011 to August 2012.
Okay, Ms. Babumian, report, please.
Chair Devine, members of the Commission, at this time, staff respectfully recommends that the Commission select a chair and a vice chair for a 12-month term that would run from August 2011 to August 2012. The process that the Commission has used in the past that is described in this report is consistent with Robert's Rules of Orders. After the agenda item has been introduced, the chair shall open the floor for nominations for the position of chair and receive nominations from the commissioners. A commissioner may be nominated by another commissioner or may nominate him or herself, and the motion does not require a second. Once all the nominations have been made, the chair will close the floor to nominations, and at this point, if any of the nominees would like to give a verbal statement, they can. And once the nominations and statements have been received, the selection of an officer is decided by a majority affirmative vote of the quorum, and that would be 3 votes. Voting is generally conducted as a roll call vote. If there's only one name, commissioners would just say yes or no. If there's more than one name nominated, the commissioners would state the name of the person they would like to nominate. City attorney did provide a little type of a script or an outline. It's the same as what's described in the report, but I think that will also help the commissions. If the candidate does receive at least 3 affirmative votes, that candidate will become chair and no further votes will be taken. But if the candidate does not receive at least 3 affirmative votes, the nominations will reopen and the process will repeat. And then after the selection of the chair, the meeting shall be turned over to the newly elected chair, and the first action of the elected chair would be to conduct the same vote for vice chair. That concludes my report, if there's any questions.
Okay. If there are no questions, then we'll open the floor for nominations for chair.
I nominate Chair Devine.
And we don't need a second. Are there any other nominations? I see none, so can we have a vote, please?
Yes.
Commissioner Garsavanian,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Vice Chair Tostian,
Yes.
Chair Devine.
Yes. Thank you all for your support, and I hope that this next year will be as successful as the ones that we've just gone through. Now we open the floor for nominations for vice chair. Do I hear any nominations? I'd like to nominate. Can I nominate? I can nominate. Yes, I would like to nominate Commissioner Miller for vice chair. Are there any other nominations? I see none, so shall we have a vote?
Commissioner Burns,
Yes.
Commissioner Garsavanian,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Vice Chair Tostian,
Yes.
and Chair Devine.
Yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations, both of you.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
both of you.
Thank you. Do we change the seats now?
If you would like to change seats now would be the appropriate time. Generally, the vice chair sits to the right of the chair. So we can do this now, we can do this. And then I think we still maintain our alphabetical order.
So I would go here.
Which is actually works out quite well.
Works out well.
Thank you very much, Vice
Thank
Chair
you.
Tostian, for your work this year, past year. And we'll move on to the next item while Commissioner Miller is taking her seat.
Chair Devine, if I can actually just make a comment. Sure. I would like to thank my fellow commissioners for their nomination and their belief in my ability to fulfill this service. But more importantly, I just am very grateful to be serving in this capacity under you as the chair and to be learning and ushering through your many, many years of experience and dedication to this commission. So,
Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to working with you this year. Next item.
2 is consideration and discussion of partnership request by Senator Carol Liu for the Pathways to Wellbeing and Economic Prosperity Pathways Conference. 2A is a motion providing direction regarding the partnership request by Senator Carol Liu for the Pathways Conference.
Thank you. And before we get the report from Ms. Babumian, I do want to say that the event that Greg Krikorian was speaking about, the Business Life Conference, is going to be co-chaired by Senator Carol Liu and Supervisor Antonovich. So we want to make that perfectly clear up front and give them their kudos. Report, please, Ms. Babumian.
Chair Devine, members of the Commission, at the June 2011 meeting, the Commission on the Status of Women received a report from staff that was a presentation of a sponsorship request from State Senator Carol Liu for the implementation of her new program, Pathways to Wellbeing and Economic Prosperity. The report outlined Senator Liu's new program, which will address the needs of working poor, among whom women and children are disproportionately represented, and other at-risk populations, which include seniors, foster youth, homeless at-risk youth, and veterans. The report described the 3 main elements of the program, which is, the first is a signature event, which is the annual conference held in October to facilitate network and problem-solving among governmental agencies and local organizations. Mini events held throughout the 21st District to bring information, resources, and services directly to low-income neighborhoods and targeted populations, and a website portal that will facilitate networking among stakeholders, service providers, and advocates, and be a source of information directly beneficial to the target audience of the Pathways program. The report also contained a request that the Commission had received from the Senator's office for sponsorship of the inaugural Pathways Conference to be held this October. The sponsorship considerations included becoming anywhere from a $5,000 to a $1,000 sponsor for the conference. In the report, staff had noted that the Commission had not provided funds towards Senator Liu's conferences in the past, and that historically any support offered by the Commission for these annual events had consisted of volunteer efforts and conference attendance. The Commission had requested that the report come back with additional information about the sponsorship request. And since then, staff has corresponded with Senator Liu's office, and it was determined that the original request had essentially been miscommunicated, and really what Senator Liu would like to do is to invite the Commission to become a partner of the Pathways program. And the partnership can consist of one or more of the following. It would be listing the Glendale Commission on the Status of Women as a partner, as in support of the Pathways program, using the logo of the Commission necessary for outreach materials, providing a link on the Commission's website to the Pathways portal, and providing additional resource links for the Pathways portal. And this would consist of the Commission suggesting other nonprofits that align with the Pathways program and just providing that information to the senator's office that they can then put on the portal. Then at the last meeting in July, the Commission took action to partner with Senator Liu for a series of financial literacy workshops, which essentially does fall into the mini events portion of her Pathways program. And this corresponds with both the Commission's focus of elevating women in 2011 and Senator Liu's Pathways program. As we had mentioned last month, the events will take place throughout September and target women from a diverse range of backgrounds in education of financial literacy. I do have an update of those events. The first one is the event that will take place at Junior Achievement of Southern California on Saturday, September 10th, and that'll occur from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it'll be a 3-hour basic level workshop regarding money and budgeting and is aimed at women from low-income families. The Commission did take action last month to fund the cost of $750, which is 50 participants at $15 each. And essentially, based on conversations since then with Senator Liu's office, it's been determined that the best way to get women to this event would be to have these women referred by their case managers from different organizations such as the YWCA of Glendale, Path Achieve, Door of Hope, Salvation Army, and even the Verdugo Job Center, as Judith Serenas just presented. Following this Saturday event, there will also be a series of financial literacy workshops taking place once a week in the police community room of the Glendale Police Department. And these workshops would be open to the public and provide a higher level of financial literacy skill building, and they will get progressively more complicated as the weeks continue. So it's a nice stepping stone for the women who want to go to Junior Achievement and receive more information, and it's also nice just for any women, any members of the public who want to come in. They can take them individually or they can take them as building blocks. Senator Liu's office has secured donations for materials that may be associated with these 3 workshops, such as workbooks, and the workshops will be taught by professional volunteers that have been referred by Senator Liu's office and the Commission. The dates and times and topics are as follows. Thursday, September 15th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. is Cash and Risk Management. Thursday, September 22nd, 6:30 to 8 p.m., Tax and Investment Planning, and Thursday, September 29th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. is Estate Planning. At this time, staff respectfully recommends that the Commission provide direction regarding the current partnership request from Senator Carol Liu. This concludes my report at this time, staff, members of the Commission, and I would like to invite Taline Mangiolu. She is Senator Carol Liu's District Director, to the podium, and she'd like to just give a brief introduction. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here tonight with you. I have a very small announcement to make. We have a new district representative. She will be representing the Latino community throughout our district. Her name is Joyce Royce Aguilera. And now I'd like to open the floor to any questions you might have with the Pathways Program Manager, Andy Lane. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Andy Lane from Senator Carol Liu's office, the Pathways Program Manager, in case you have any questions about the program.
Okay, do we have any questions from the Commission?
No? Lovely to see you.
Commissioner Miller, I heard a breath.
I have a question.
Okay.
So is there a request from us for sponsorship?
So we had conversations with the committee, and what we have multiple opportunities in how organizations can partner. You can be a sponsor, you can be a partner, which is the 4 parts that you outlined. You can be a participant in the mini workshops. So one of the things that you've already been doing since we started conversations with the Glendale Commission over a year ago is that we have received funds in order to partner and put on this mini workshop. And there have been discussions that perhaps in the future that the Glendale Commission on the Status of Women may be interested in partnering on workshops like we have at the financial literacy event in the future. So it would be event-driven partnerships as far as financially goes.
Right. In Ms. Babumian's report, she states that that it was not the intention of Senator Liu to solicit funds from the Glendale Commission on the Status of Women. I would just like to say that I have felt that this commission has been in a partnership with the senator's office since she took office as the senator, and especially this year when we adopted her Pathways program as our focus. And so I don't see any problem with stating or passing a motion that we are, in agreement that we should have this partnership. We are doing this event. These events. Topics, this financial literacy is going to be amazing. We have such wonderful speakers. We're going to talk about what a woman does if divorce happens, if death happens, how to invest her money if she has even a small nest egg. I mean, it's going to be so vital, and I'm just really proud that we get to be a part of it.
And another thing I just wanted to mention on Christine's report is the 4 parts of the partnership request, which are to be part of our web portal, to list your logo as one of our logos, to be listed as a partner. These are or options. So you fit whatever's appropriate, and in some cases, when it comes to government entities, legally appropriate. We probably wouldn't use your seal as we would a nonprofit organization such as Path Achieve.
Right.
So when you go through that partnership request, which Christine has, you're able to choose what is most appropriate for your organization, and then additionally we have the agreement that we'll work on workshops as they seem appropriate, like we have in the past with the sexual assault prevention and with the financial literacy project that we're currently working on.
Right, and that would just enable more communication. You would call and say, this is something that we're doing, can we use the logo? And we've always been able to speak, to communicate, so I don't see that as being a problem. Ms. Bohemian, did you have a comment? No. Commissioner Miller?
So the outcome then, as I understand it from this, is at our June meeting, we went ahead and voted. We're already a part of this Path Achieves, and that event is taking place. And then we are partnering with you. It sounds like all is great.
Yeah,
we are partnering with you.
We just want the signature and the letter returned, and we are thrilled to work with you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
As are we.
Exactly. Yeah. Any other comments?
I have a question.
Commissioner Garsamanian?
So the $750 that we are donating, does that have to be increased to $1,000 to make us a partner?
No, absolutely not. The partner request is separate from a sponsor request. The partner request just means that you're interested in the Pathways programs.
Gotcha.
Our goals are in line. You want to be informed of opportunities to partner.
Gotcha, thank you.
Yeah. Great.
Now, do we need a motion to this effect, that we will partner?
Chair Devine, members of the Commission, I would recommend that we look at the 4 areas. It's also listed on the Pathways sheet that's at your desk, but it's listing the Glendale Commission on the status of women as a partner, using the logo of the Commission for outreach materials, providing a link on the Commission's website to the Pathways portal, and then I squeeze in there an and/or, providing additional resource links for the Pathways portal. I know that we have partnered with different organizations and different offices in the past. I don't see any legal problems with that, but I will let Ms. Sansoni interrupt me when I'm wrong. I know we've used our logo, the Commission's logo, with the permission of the entire Commission when they pass a motion. I know we've done that in the past. I just want to make sure that we can provide a link on the Commission's website to the Pathways portal. It does not go to Senator Liu's website. It's a different website that contains different topics of interest pertaining to the Pathways program.
Madam Chair, members of the Commission, I haven't done that kind of research to determine whether the website links have any legal ramifications. We do need the Commission's consent to use the seal, and subject to additional research. Sitting here today, I see no problem in providing those links.
Okay.
So then we need a motion.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion having our commission join with Carol Liu in this Pathways program. allowing them to list the Glendale Commission on the Status of Women as a partner, use our logo of the Commission as necessary for outreach materials, provide a link on the Commission's website to the Pathways portal, and provide additional resource links for the Pathways portal.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And can we have a vote, please?
Commissioner Burns,
Yes.
Commissioner Garsavanian,
Aye.
Commissioner Tostian,
Yes.
Vice Chair Miller,
Yes.
and Chair Devine.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very
good.
much.
Next item, please.
G is reports, information only. 1 is Commission on the Status of Women's 2011 Master Calendar of Events.
Are there any additions to that? Do you have the September?
Yes.
Do you have them on
Divine,
there?
the
You've already
September
added
events.
those. Good for you. You're on top of it.
Commission took action on them. I added them to the calendar.
Great, good. Anything else that my fellow commissioners can see or corrections? Okay. And they are noted. Next item, please.
2 is final update of the 2011 Jewels of Glendale Awards Luncheon.
Chair Devine, members of the commission, this report is information only, just containing information about the final numbers for the Jewels Luncheon. I'm sure all of you are interested in that. As we all know, the 7th annual Jewels of Glendale Awards Luncheon was held on Thursday, May 5th at the Oakmont Country Club in Glendale. This event was held to bring attention to the accomplishments of women in the city of Glendale and to raise funds for the various projects of the commission. Tickets were sold at $65 each, and student tickets were sold at $30 each. There were over 200 guests in attendance of the event, and the 2011 Jewels of Glendale Women of Courage honorees were Mona Marcos, Lynn Raggio, Tanis Rines, and Blanca Zavala. In addition, the Commission gave a $1,000 GEM Scholarship Award to Ani Gazakanian from Glendale High School, and the Chair of the Commission gave special recognition to Lana Haddad, a staff member of the City of Glendale. The Commission received a total of $10,000 in sponsorships, and that's broken down as follows. The top donor at the $5,000 Diamond sponsorship was Glendale Adventist Medical Center. And then the Commission also received $1,000 Emerald sponsorships from Caruso-affiliated Americanet Brand, Glendale Management Association, Glendale Memorial Hospital and Health Center, and Glendale Water and Power. Additionally, the Commission received $500 Ruby sponsorships from Acura of Glendale and Massage NV Glendale. And the Commission also received $2,850 in advertisements, $9,795 in ticket sales, $110 in donations, and $1,805 from the silent auction. So to date, the Commission has received a total of $22,755 in sponsorships, advertisements, ticket sales, and donations. And then, the total, including the silent auction, is $24,560, and the expenses totaled $8,941.30. So that means the total profit for the 2011 Jewels of Glendale Awards Luncheon was $15,618.70. And the final budget with line item details is attached to this report as Exhibit 1. And all net profits from the events benefit programs that the Commission does, since the Commission does not receive funding from the City Council to put on these programs. And these are Camp Rosie, the events during Sexual Assault Awareness Month, the events during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and the Hands and Words Are Not for Hurting campaign, just to name a few. That was my report. I will be more than happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions from the Commission? No? Okay, I would just like to say that the event was quite nice at Oakmont, very well attended. We had over 200 people. I think in this economy that we're dealing with, our profit was commendable, and I hope that everyone will support us again next year at our Jewels Luncheon. But I thank you, those of you that sponsored and bought ads and came to the event. Thank you very much. We can continue our programs for the next year. Thank you.
Chair
Next item?
Devine?
Yes.
I'd also like to thank former Commissioner Susan Hunt. I think she did an excellent job, and I hopefully she's listening out there. Thank you, Commissioner Hunt.
Exactly.
I
yes.
agree with that. I must say it was probably one of the best Jules luncheons that I ever remember attending, and I also am very grateful for the work she did on that.
Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner Hunt, wherever you are. Okay, next item, please.
6 is commissioner and staff comments.
Okay, let's start with Commissioner Donnellian.
Okay. Well, first I'd like to thank Business Life for coming and presenting what they're going to be holding the workshop. So I encourage everybody to go out to those, and I hope that someone will take the news to the students, as said. So I also want to congratulate Ms. Chair Devine and Vice Chair Miller for their new positions for this upcoming year. And and I see we have a lot of events in September workshops, so I encourage everybody to attend those too. And lastly, I just want to offer my condolences to Vice Chair Miller for your loss. So.
Commissioner Burns?
Well, last month I did a lot. Camp Rosie to the rescue. I went over to Camp Rosie, was there at 12 o'clock. All the girls were there, and they said, goodbye, we're going on a field trip. So I'm going tomorrow. They better not go on a field trip tomorrow. I'm going to spend the day with them. That's 12:30 to 5:30? I'm going to do this, Camp Rosie, no matter what. Now, the women's church group had a salad luncheon. All the funds that were raised went to the Salvation Army. They were delighted to raise $2,000, and I honestly think that they should have raised more, or we should have supported this salad lunch to a stronger degree. So next year, I'm going to really beat the band and get everyone that can in town over to this salad luncheon. It's wonderful. The Glendale Clean and Beautiful had a night on the plaza, and it was a lovely, lovely event, as was Cruise Night. I think 40,000 people went to Cruise Night. We said goodbye to Maury Dean, CEO of Adventist, and then I attended a really, really nice fundraiser done by the Elks and the Emblems in Glendale. I did go to the 55 Plus Adventist Luncheon, and I learned all about longevity and wellness. And the gal that spoke of this, do you remember, remember her name?
Dr. Teresa Suida?
Yes. She sent me a list of 78 things you can do to be years younger. One of them was good. One of them was really good. I won't mention that. We won't talk about that one. But if anybody wants a copy of the 78 things that she recommends, and it goes from really easy to a little harder. On the last page, it's really hard. The things that are really hard, but eventually you get younger. Now, we all need to do that. So let me know if you want that.
I'd like one. I'd like one.
You got it. The next luncheon at Adventist is August 22nd. Really good lunch. I don't know what the topic is. What is the topic?
The topic is aging and orthopedics. It'll be taught by Dr. Osep Armagon. And Dr. Armagon is a foot and ankle surgeon specialist. And I have referred many people to him, and they always report back about how thorough he is and very specific. And so it's an important topic, balance and safety issues for anyone really, but the 55 plus population is very, very important. So now I will just, if I may, I know these are your comments, but since we're on this topic and everything.
Going to talk about tripping?
No,
falling?
I promise not to trip you when you come. What I would just want you to know is that is part of the Live Well Luncheon series. That Live Well is part of the 55-plus program at Glendale Adventist, of which I am the director of that program. And while we want everyone to attend, we do want you to know that that is a member benefit. So if you do plan to RSVP, I hope you pay attention to the program. Go to www.glendaleadventist.com/livewell and fill out a membership, or at least look up the benefits. It's a regular membership with no charge, and to attend the luncheons. And if you don't have time to do that, or you don't have internet access, then just show up to the luncheon after you RSVP, of course, and we'll make sure that you're a member by the time we get to dessert.
And they definitely do that. August 22nd.
Yes, and thank you
Right.
for letting me jump in on your comment.
No problem. It was a perfect segue. Glendale Beautiful is having its fall dinner September 9. You can call me and I can give you all of the information. The Women's Civic League, September 22nd. We are having Sheriff Baca is our guest speaker, and the Pops Orchestra, of which several of us are Pop-Tarts, is coming along September 22nd, and it's Bossa Nova on brand. And so we encourage you to support the Pops Orchestra, and I will pass it on now. Thank you.
Vice Chair Miller, comments? How about a telephone number for the reservations?
Oh, thank you, Chair Devine. The telephone number for the reservation is 818-409-8091. Again, that's 818-409-8091. I wanted to thank the Commission again for this position of Vice Chair. I will get used to being on the right side. I'm left-handed, and I kind of liked it over there. But I'm an adjuster, and I'll get used to it. And again, Chair Devine, it will be a pleasure to serve under your leadership. I wanted to just tell you a couple things that I've been involved in, besides the obvious. August 3rd, 2001, I was asked to be a speaker at the Salvation Army training camp. And you know we have a wonderful Salvation Army here that also has a senior home center that's associated with it. And my topic was 8 ways to living well, which turned into 78 ways of living well. And it was a really just a lovely day, and it was down at their training site in Palos Verdes, actually right on the ocean. So thank you to the Salvation Army for including myself and Glendale Adventist in that. Yes, at Glendale Adventist, we were certainly sad to see Maury Dean, our CEO, go. We wish him well. We know that he will do well. We know that the next community is extremely lucky to have him, and we know, rest assured, that he left it in good hands. Our executive team is exceptional, and because of the dedication of my organization to this community, they're going to be taking some time. They really want to make sure and get it right. And the nice thing is that we have such a strong executive team, as well as many dedicated employees, that we are looking forward to their special time that they're putting into this. So stay tuned. I'm sure it will be announced in all sorts of avenues when it happens. Thank you for identifying the Live Well Luncheon Series. I won't go over those again, but if I may, just take a moment it goes without saying, because I'm here and my father passed away on Saturday, I must just really utilize this moment to really recognize once again the great community resources that we have in Glendale. I may not get the opportunity to thank everyone personally, but this new little experience as a commissioner is perhaps allowing me to do that on television. And I just want you to know Glendale has the finest firemen. And I will just give you a background and let you know that I've been on this journey with my father for 3 years. It's not the ending I hoped for. It's not the journey we hoped for. But we've been on it together. We've had eyes wide open. We've been present. And the community paid us back tenfold. Glendale Fire Department, Shoal Canyon Estates when he lived there. The kindness of people is just superb. Glendale Adventist Medical Center, my father always lived on the east side in the San Marino, Pasadena area, and when it looked like his health was failing, we moved him over to Glendale, and I must say, or asked him to move over to Glendale, and I must say to you, moving him into Glendale Adventist, I know I work there, but the reality of the situation is that I was a daughter in this circumstance, and the kindness of his doctors, the kindness of the staff, the volunteer staff, the transporters, every single, he was a frequent flyer, by the way, at this hospital, and we had multiple interactions with multiple people who made a difference in our lives. And on behalf of all my brothers and sisters, we are eternally grateful to this community for the support that they showed us and for the way that this process has gone. So, thank you. And
Commissioner Garsavanian?
I'd like to congratulate our new chair and vice chair. And Commissioner Burns gave me a great quote I'd like to read. It says, "Let no one ever come to you without leaving better and happier." And that's kind of fitting after what Commissioner Miller just said. That's about it for me.
Mr. Tostian?
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Holidays.
First of all, I'd like to thank both Chair Devine and Vice Chair Miller. Secondly, I was very impressed with Verdugo Job Center. I did not realize, quite honestly, that they provided the services that they did. So I would encourage both men and women in Glendale and the surrounding areas to use their services if you can. And lastly, I'd like to also express my condolences to you, Vice Chair Miller, on the passing of your father, Albert. And I wish your family also best wishes on this sad occasion. Thank you.
Ms. Gabunian?
I will do the happy parts. Congrats to Commissioner Burns for being a woman achiever, and congrats to Vice Chair Miller on your appointment. I'm sure you'll do wonderful. And welcome back, Chair Devine.
Thank you.
Congrats to all of you. I will try not to make this too long, but I did get an email from Nancy Friedson at Path Achieve, and they rarely, well, I rarely get emails like this, but they're in an unusual situation right now that I just wanted to promise to put the word out, and I will send an email out to all of you as well. They presently have 4 single women, 1 single man with a service dog, and 1 family of 5. We're all moving into apartments. You know, they're leaving Path Achieve and transitioning into independent apartments in the next 6 to 21 days. And now normally Path Achieve tries to keep furniture donations in storage so that they can give these families and these men and women who have nothing some furniture, some lighting, and things of that sort. Unfortunately, when they have all these families moving at the same time, it's a little bit difficult, and their furniture fund is low right now. They have 1 woman who's going through chemotherapy and is scheduled for cancer surgery on the 18th of this month moving out. They found an apartment for her. They have nothing to put in it. Another is a pregnant young woman who just found out she's having twins. Found her an apartment, but she has nothing to put in it. And another is a 78-year-old woman who's been with Path Achieve for several months and finally found low-income senior housing. And again, she has nothing. There's a 4th woman who's been living on the streets. She has her very own little 1-bedroom apartment, thanks to City of Glendale and Path Achieve. And the family of 5 is a mom, her 4 children. They were living in a car and in a park. They've been from shelter to shelter, and they finally are moving into transitional housing program. Basically, they need about 4 couches or love seats, 4 coffee tables, mattresses that are twin or full, 5 dressers, end tables that would work in a living room or a bedroom. She said lamps, lamps, lamps. She finds that many folks live in the dark, so they need lamps. Kitchen supplies, TVs, bath towels, sheets, blankets, and pillows. And if anyone out there knows of a furniture moving service that would be willing to donate their time or give a discounted service to these families, they are looking for that as well. The person to contact is Elena Hyde, and her phone number is 818-568-6219. Again, Elena Hyde, she's at Path Achieve. She's the project manager in charge of this move. And again, 818-568-6219. And like I said, I usually don't get these kind of emails, so this really stood out to me, and I think if anyone can go through their homes and if they have anything, I know Path Achieve would be eternally grateful. And that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you. First, I'd like to congratulate Commissioner Burns on the Women Achievers Award. That's really an honor, and I'm happy that you've joined the, I like to think of it as a big sorority or something. But anyway, congratulations. And also to Commissioner Miller or Vice Chair Miller. I went to Camp Rosie as well, and I saw there are like 27 to 40 girls there this particular 3 weeks. And when I was there were approximately 27. Melina Sardar was doing a lesson on vicious cycles that they go through, or vicious vices that they have. But so she does this whole process, and she sent in some of the comments from the girls, and I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'll just read a couple of them. And this one is from one of the girls, and she says, "Today was a very fun experience. There was a lot of yelling and crazy going on, so I love that. And also I saw that I was not the only one who has a problem that they need to change or want to change." And this one says, "I love this. It's so much fun how we talk to each other. It's nice to talk of the problems that we are trying to work out." And then this one says, "I learned that I can be me today." So it's very heartwarming, and to hear the empowerment that goes on at this camp. And I want to thank again everybody that supports this camp, the Verdugo Job Center, and all of you that come to the luncheon, because it really is helping these young ladies. I want to congratulate as well Glendale Clean and Beautiful. It was a lovely summer night on the plaza. The Maury Dean send-off was Wednesday evening was wonderful, and I wish him well in Denver. I know he'll do a spectacular job. I want to announce that the Armenian Relief Society of Western USA is having a Healing Shelter fundraiser. It's on August the 14th. That's a Sunday at 6 p.m., and it's at their Glen Oaks offices at 517 West Glen Oaks Boulevard. And you can call them at 500-1343 for tickets. The idea of this fundraiser is to raise money to open a hotline for domestic violence victims in the Armenian community. So it is quite vital that we support this attempt so that they can help the women in their community who are having to live through domestic violence. You know, it's often very difficult for women to come forward because of the shame and the fear and all the other taboos that go along with domestic violence. But hopefully for this community, with the ARS trying to open this hotline, it will be a way of helping more women in our community. And lastly, I want to remind everybody about the celebration for healthy children, and this is from Glendale Healthy Kids, and it's going to be on, if you'll save the date, October the 1st, and I know that there were a million things going on in that month, and especially on that weekend, but it's at 6 p.m. at Palette Restaurant. They have a fabulous chef. The restaurant is rated like #1 in Los Angeles, and there will be a silent auction and a live auction, and dinner will be at 7:45. So if you're interested in going, you can contact Glendale Healthy Kids at 818-548-7931. Please help this organization, because we do try to provide health care for underinsured and low-insured children in our community. So with that, I would like to end with a quote that comes from ARC Family Center. And it is, "Who you are begins with what you do." So I hope that we'll all remember that. And now I ask that we have a motion for adjournment for Commissioner Miller's father, Big Al Miller. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Make a motion. This meeting is adjourned in honor of Big Al Miller at 6:55 p.m. Thank you.